Hey, welcome back to Positive Living with Lolo. Today I'm going to talk about myself and just share with you guys why I started doing this and what this really means to me and where I want to go with it. So first I would just like to say thank you to everybody who has been a part of Positive Living with Lolo. I never would have thought that people would come to me asking me to be on the show. And I find it interesting how many people actually do want to share their story and do want to talk about what they're learning and do want to spread love and positivity within the world, especially people that are in my own city doing things that I enjoy doing and being in the scene that I enjoy being in. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about the next couple of people that I have coming on. I have some good friends of mine coming on, and I'm really excited about that. So stay tuned for the next couple of weeks as I start to do those interviews, finish the editing, and get them out. The reason there hasn't been a Positive Living with Lolo episode for the last couple of weeks is because me and this girl named Kaya, she goes by callme_Kaya, Kiah, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And she and I we recorded a couple weeks ago. And when I went to go put it from my iMovie onto my YouTube, it would not download from my iMovie. And then it was taking forever to download onto to the YouTube. So we went through all of these different things in order to get this video up. And once we finally got it up, it only put up 12 minutes instead of the full hour and a half. So we're gonna go ahead, reshoot, condense that into like 30 minutes and get it out for you guys. We just think that maybe God was just telling us we weren't really talking about the things we need to be talking about. So I'm really excited about moving forward with that. So this really just started because I have had a following on social media for some time now for the positive living stuff that I do. And so it started on Facebook back in 2010. I started to realize that I didn't really want to put negative things on my Instagram or on my Facebook or on anything, because if I do that, that gives a lot of room for people to criticize, judge, use it on me in the future, and it gives a lot of people the sense that they have, they're allowed to just comment whatever they want on your life. And so I decided that I'm not going to put any of the bad stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and share the positive things that, I want to put out into the world and I want to receive back. So I've been doing that since 2010. And it's been a journey. I remember when I first switched over to thinking positive, I grew up in this mind frame of like just really kind of hating everybody and hating everything. I had hate in my heart. Like I had a lot of love in my heart, but I really had hate in my heart. And I was really confused too, because I grew up, being told a bunch of things about Black people that weren't true. And when I moved to a school where there was Black people, I hung out with only them, and then I just lost myself. I mean, I came from a school where we had 100 people maybe per class to a school where we now have 500 people per class, where I came from a school where it was just white kids to now there's a mixture of Black kids. And I've always felt in my heart that I have this connection with Black people, but I never really knew why. I mean, I knew that my grandfather was Black. I knew that was in our family history, but I was never really told anything good about Black people, so I never really understood. When I met them, then I started to, understand. So I lost myself because I was just confused, and I was trying to fit in with the Black kids, and yet struggling from coming from an all-white school where I had only seen 2 Black people ever before that, other than when I would go and visit my mom who lived in different areas. And so I lost myself in high school, and then I was just miserable. Like the depression just kicked in, and I would stay in my room. Like I became a vegetarian when I was 15, and I really wasn't any longer invited to like the family dinners and the family outings and things like that, because that lifestyle choice was so different than my family's. My friend choice was so different than what my family wanted for me. And so come high school, I stayed in my room until I got my first job at Little Caesars in Milford. And then once I started working, I literally just worked, went to school, came home and slept. Didn't really have anything to say to my family, didn't really have much to do with them anymore. And then when I graduated, I wasn't allowed to have my black boyfriend at my graduation party and stuff. And that was just like, I was done. I started hair school shortly after that. I was miserable at hair school because, once again, like, I've always, like, I didn't say this before, but I've always had male friends, not female friends. And when I came here, I became friends with females and males. But being around 50 females at one time, all day, I just couldn't do it. So I decided to go ahead and skip school, work my ass off to get my first apartment. When I moved out with my boyfriend at the time, shout out Lamar, I love you. You're still an amazing person. I'll never, ever forget, us moving in together and stuff. But I did that, and that's when life just changed for me when I moved out and I was on my own, and I was no longer depressed by my house and my living situation and who I was living with. Shout out my parents. I don't mean to be, like making them sound bad or anything. I'm firstborn, so obviously I went through a lot more shit than my sister did with them or my brother did with them, because they're testing everything out on me. And growing in who they are while doing that, my parents had me young. So, and my stepmom, she took over parenting with my dad when she was 18. So I don't blame them for anything I went through growing up. I have completely 100% forgiven them for the wrong things that they've taught me or the hurtful things that they've said to me. Not that they're out of my head, but that they are forgiven. And at this point, with them being in my head, it's something I have to work on, allowing those words to disappear. But anyways, fast forward to having been in that apartment for a couple of months. One day, I went to Kroger to grab some food, and I was sitting in the Kroger's parking lot in Eastgate, and I'm like, forgiveness. Wow. I have to forgive people. I know I want to be forgiven for the hurtful things that I've done. And literally, that was the start of my journey. That was the start of the change that I had felt like I wanted my whole entire life. And from then on, I've just been moving forward. And so here we are today, 9 years later, and I don't struggle that much anymore with being positive. I mean, there's definitely my days and my weeks where I have my moments, and there's definitely times where I can definitely be judgmental with people. But because of who I am and the things that I've experienced and the things that I do, like volunteer-wise, I've become a lot more of an understanding person at this point, and so I'm not as judgmental. And when I am, I'm pretty good at taking a couple days, realizing that I've been judgmental, and apologizing for it. So that's just to say that I'm not perfect. I don't think that I'll ever have a full week where I didn't judge somebody, or a full week where I didn't make a mistake, or a full week where I didn't say something that was inappropriate that just came out of my mind instead of me really thinking about it. I mean, I am as conscious as I can be, you know what I'm saying? I really try to be aware of what I'm doing and what I'm saying and how I'm affecting the people around me and the energy in the room and things like that. But it's been a very interesting journey, to say the least. It has had its major ups and downs. But nonetheless, it has been the best journey of my life. And in the last 2 years, I have received so much love. Like, I legit have the chills right now. Like, I have received so much love, so much appreciation, so many gifts, and so many words of encouragement. you know? And so in these last 2 years, you know, I've been getting so many, actually in the last like 5 years, I've been getting so many messages from random people that I don't even know, that they just follow me. We don't even know each other like that. And they say, you know, we look forward to your posts every day, or there's days where I have a bad day and so I go to your page and you brighten up my day, or you make me happy, or the dogs make me happy, or whatever. And so I decided last year that I was going to make a video, and I posted on the video, like, would you guys listen to me if I did a vlog, or if I did a YouTube channel, or anything like that? And I don't even honestly remember what the responses were. But what I do know is that I've known for a while that I really, really need to put this message out there. I was scared because I know I'm not perfect. I was scared because I know, especially like when I was going through my breakup, that first year was so fucked up for me. The whole second year was like, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm good. Fuck. I really miss the family that we were creating. Oh, I'm good. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? It was really like that. And it took a huge toll on me. And I felt like I can't share my story while I'm in the midst of all of this shit. But then I realized I can. And I don't even have to be the one that shares my story, but what I can do is I can use the voice that I already have and show people that in the midst of the storm, being in the midst of the storm is so important for the end of the story. Having that. One thing, okay, this is a little off topic, but one thing I struggle with the Bible is that they don't have information on Jesus in his 20s. And I feel like in our 20s, we go through so much. We've moved out of our parents' house. We're now trying to figure out how to save, earn, donate, how to work. I mean, we're literally learning how to pay bills, create families, be a wife, be a husband, be a girlfriend, be a mom, have animals, be a friend. What does being a friend look like? You know what I mean? When we're adults and we have families to worry about, being intentional. Like in your 20s, you're learning about all of this stuff. In your 20s, you're unlearning so many things you have learned in your lifetime, and you're relearning. And in the Bible, it doesn't give us that. It gives us storms that Jesus has been in, but it doesn't tell us about his 20s, and that frustrates me, okay? Because every time I go to somebody and I'm like, well, can you tell me about Jesus' 20s? Because I think that's so important. Everybody's like, well, no, but we can assume. Well, that's not good enough for me. So for me, I need to tell y'all in the midst of my storm what is going on. So a lot of you who have been following me, you've heard the videos where I've complained about how bad my heart hurts. How much I want to beat up this girl who came into my relationship in the end. How I felt like I'm over it. How I felt like I'm moving on. You've heard me talk about Raylan and how much I miss her. You've heard me talk about the frustrations of being a business owner on my own. You've heard me talk about everything that I'm going through in life. And I think that it's important for you guys to know the storm and then know the end. Because this storm is creating the ending of this. This storm and how I'm reacting and how I'm handling myself in the storm is going to tell you what's going to happen in the end, and it's going to show you how we got there. So I just decided, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a voice. And so I started sharing my story. I started getting really good feedback from people. And now I just want everybody else to share their story. I want everybody, even if you're in the midst of the storm, come on Positive Living with Lolo. Let's talk about what it means to be positive. Let's talk about how you have overcome a storm, or what storm you're going through and how you're overcoming it. And then we can follow up with a quick interview in a couple months and see how everything has turned out. You feel me? Either way, I want to encourage you guys all to share your story, whether you're in the beginning of the storm, in the middle of it, towards the end of it, you've already come out of it. you're going into one, it doesn't matter. Your story is important. People want to know. People want to know. So I'm just walking through life trying to encourage growth. I'm trying to encourage love. I'm trying to encourage people to understand perspective on a deeper level than just the word and the definition itself, but the actual like life and like, man, life is just so different for everybody. For every single person, no matter what you were born into, no matter if you were born into the exact same household, your perspective of life is different. And so to truly understand that, to truly grasp that everybody has a different perspective is deep. You know, you got to think on a deeper level. And I encourage that deep thinking. I encourage people to step outside of what they have been taught and relearn for yourself. Figure out what fits you. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I preach a lot is unconditional love. And being that person that has shown unconditional love, I tend to have more people than normal take advantage of it. More people than normal not use me, but like I said, I think just kind of take advantage of the fact that they know that I'll just love them through it. And it's hard. That's really, really hard. But at the end of the day, I feel like I wouldn't have it any other way. Because at the end of the day, I love you. And if I've ever loved you, then I love you. And that's just how it goes. Like, I may need to separate myself from you, but I truly love you. And if you ever need anything, I want to be here for you. I genuinely want to be here. I genuinely want to see everyone that I love win. Everybody. Even if I don't like you, I want to see you win. You feel me? And so I don't know. I just thought, why not? Let's start a Positive Living with Lolo. Let's start showing the world what we're made of and what we can do. Like, I don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything together to share your story. People are going to listen. People are going to listen. People want to know what's up with you. People want to know how you got through some shit. So that's another thing. Like, you know, there's so much beauty and vulnerability. And honestly, I know that you can't trust everybody in this world. And I know that some people will take the bad things you've done or the things that you aren't so proud of and they'll throw it in your face. But my whole thing is, I will gladly tell you what I've done wrong. I will gladly admit that I fucked up. I will tell you, like, yeah, this is what I did and this is what I did and it's really fucked up and I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know why am I doing this? I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? But even when other people try to use that as a bad thing, that is all a reflection of who they are, not who you are. When you can say, I've done this, this, and this, these three things were all fucked up, but I've learned from them, I've grown from them, then there's nothing anybody can say that can change who you are, what you've done, or what you're about. I mean, there's nothing anybody can say. Now, when you say, well, I've never done anything wrong, and then somebody says, well, you've done this, this, and this wrong, and now we got some problems. You know what I mean? You got to do some self-reflecting. But at this point, I've done so much self-reflecting that I know when I'm messing up, and I try to correct it, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes my emotions get out of control, and I say fucked up stuff or whatever. But either way, I mean, I have nothing to hide. Like, yo, like, look, I was born, I'm gonna live, and I'm gonna die. Why do I feel like I need to hide anything from any of you who are going to judge me? Who none of you are perfect. I know you're not perfect. I know your friend isn't perfect. I know your mama ain't perfect. So you're judging me? I have nothing to hide. And so therefore, I wear what I've done on me. I take responsibility for what I've done, and I change and I grow. That's what life is about. And so when you're vulnerable with the world and you're not hiding shit, you would be surprised by how many people don't have shit to say to you, especially negative. Because they don't feel like you're trying to be somebody that you're not. When you just say, yo, look, this is what I did. I know I fucked up, yada, yada, yada. What can the haters say? What can anybody who has anything negative to say? What can they say? They can tell you about yourself that you already knew about. Okay, cool. And now go look at your mama. Go look at yourself in the mirror. Go look at your child. None of you are perfect. I know I'm not. But what I do know is that I'm going to die one day. And what I do know is that while I'm here, I'm going to make a difference. And while I'm here, I'm not going to allow you to judge me because you haven't looked in your mirror and done some self-reflecting. You feel me? Life is too good. And by being vulnerable, by being the person that I am, by being open and honest with my emotions, the trials that I'm going through, the breakup that I went through, new men that I've gone through, all of that, all of it, I share all of it. Because at the end of the day, I get so much good advice. I get so many people come to me for advice to give to them. I have so many people praying for me and loving me that I don't even know. And this is only the very beginning. It's only the beginning. But mind you, it took me 7 years to get to a place where I really have been like, okay, now I'm in this midst of this storm that I don't know when I'm gonna get out. Now here I am 2 years after that, 9 years from the start, and I'm fucking ready, man. I am ready to live. I'm ready to share everything. I'm ready to be as open and honest and vulnerable with you guys as I possibly can. I want you guys to ask me questions. I want you guys to engage in Positive Living with Lolo. I want you guys to feel like you can follow these people that I have on here and ask them questions and have them guide you. I want to create a community where we are people for the people. We are here to show people what we know. We are here to grow with people, love people, build with people, and be there with people through their darkest times. Nowadays, it's really easy to give up on people. Nowadays, we got songs, no new friends, and all this other stuff. Man, I'm telling you, every new friend that I have met in the last couple of years, do you know where I would be if I'd never met any of these people? Do you know where I would be if I stayed with the same group of people that I've known my entire life instead of moving forward with new people? I know I would still be negative. I know I would still have anger in my heart. I know I wouldn't be doing Positive Living with Lolo because none of the people that I hung out with back in the day are doing anything like this. I love my new friends. I love the people in my life. I love, 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 love my social media family. I mean, follow your heart, you guys. Tell people what's going on. Be vulnerable. Be honest. Honestly, if we die tomorrow, what does any fucking thing that you've ever done wrong in your life matter? What does it matter? That's what I want to know. We live in this mind frame of like, we're going to die tomorrow, but yet we have all the time in the world. You know what I'm saying? So we treat things how we want. Instead of just treating things like, man, we could really die tomorrow. Man, I should really mend these relationships today. Because if that person died tomorrow, I would be very upset. I would be heartbroken. I would regret not trying to make amends with that person. I would regret not telling somebody I love them that I love them. And I might be dead, but that doesn't mean that I don't feel it in my soul when I go on to the next life that I should have done these certain things with these certain people. Or it doesn't leave, when I leave this earth, other people are still here. They're here with the memory of me. They're here with the words that I've given them. They're here with the actions that I've shown them. They're still here. They get to think about all of that. So leave everybody that you touch in your life with good memories, with love, with kindness. Leave them thinking, wow, that was an amazing soul. Leave them believing that you are an amazing soul because of the actions that you have shown in your life towards that person. I'm just saying, man, life is quick. Life is good. Life is bad. It's everything. But be who you are. Love who you are. You are literally the only you, regardless of whoever says somebody is just like you. They're not. You're the only you. And you are beautiful. You are strong. You are capable, and you are worthy of being loved and loving. And I don't know. I have so much to say, you guys, that it's so hard for me to talk about everything in one. But I will be doing more of these talks because I want you guys to get to know me and who I am outside of me talking to other people and outside of me doing 1-minute clips on Instagram. So I love you guys.